Hi everyone, and welcome to my live. Just going to flick over to see that I'm live and everything is correct, because I'd hate to be on the wrong page. There we go. So hello. It is cold today. Nice little bit of frost this morning. The last couple of days we haven't expected this cold weather. So it's been a bit of a shock to the system, because we put our heater on last night for the first time, and we haven't had the need for it before this. And when you consider that we're, the 19th of May, and it's the first time I've used the heater. Hello, lovely. How are you, Kay? How cold was it in Tarranyurt today? Did you have a white frost? But boy, it was certainly something different anyway. My name is Anita Mazzero. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Horsham, Victoria, Australia. Hello, Leanne. How are you? You've had a good weekend? I know I certainly enjoyed the weekend. Great ideas. Now, today I am going to use the Impressions Abloom Bundle, which is an online bundle. When I did my order, I only ordered a couple of sweets. I didn't want to order too many because I really wasn't sure, and I had a whole list in my catalogue written out that I'm going to order. And I've done that before, and unfortunately what ends up happening is I don't use them. It was cold, but you're not sure about the frost. You're probably still in bed. That would have been the best place to be. So anyway, as I said, it's an online exclusive. I know I used it last week, but the two sweets that I did buy, I am using quite a lot. And this is what I want to do, what I like to be able to show you, versatile ways, different ways to use the products, because you don't want to see one product and think that's all you can do with it. No, let's do it another way. So I've got a great one to do. The Impressions Abloom is an online exclusive. Now, what happened this year, we had a lot of products go on the online store at the beginning of May, at the same time as our catalogue went live. So there were lots and lots of products. So jump onto the online store, go have a look, check out the online products, because there's a huge variety of stamp sets, bundles, papers that are not in the catalogue. And some of them don't make the catalogue simply because they don't arrive on time, or it's a way for Stampin' Up to keep an inventory on stock, because if a product's in the catalogue, it has to stay around for the 12 months. But if for some reason they've got a product on the online store and it sells out and they cannot get it replaced, then it's gone. So, and a lot of things from the catalogue, from last catalogue, are on the online store. And I went through all my embellishments, and I was surprised after looking through my catalogue, because, I haven't done all that yet, but looking through my catalogue and looking at what was still available, and then I was punching in the numbers, and I'm finding them all sitting either in the last chance, which means they're still around, or they're sitting in the online store. So don't always think that just because it's gone from the catalogue, it's gone, because it's still there. Anyway, let's flip the camera around and let's have a look at things. Just flip it around. You don't want to see the ceiling. And I shall do this lovely job of trying to get this to zoom in. Oops, we don't want to go that close. That looks about right. Okay, so as I said, we have our annual catalogue. Great lot of products, absolutely brilliant in here, and lots to play with. And then we have also our online stuff. So the products I'm using today, just move the catalogue. Products I'm using today is the Impressions Abloom Bundle. This stamp set is a 2-step stamping. So you'll see the inner and the filler. So it's all there, inner or outer, whatever. And the same here for the centres of the flowers. The die bundle is absolutely great. I've put the 2 circles onto a separate sheet because, as you can see, there's lots and lots in the bundle. So the flower dies, just as we've got 2-step stamping, you've got 2 types of stamping. So one will put little cuts into the flowers and into the leaves. You've got beautiful leaf, and then you've got some other leaves, you've got some stems, these could be flowers, they could be leaves, it's up to you, centres, and then these 3 little ones. And then you've got 2 oval shapes. This one here, I'll bring it up a bit closer because this one here is just the cutting edge. That'll just cut an oval. This one here will cut no wider than what you see here, will cut a frame. And I've got one, because I'm not using this one today, but here's one to give you an example. So there's the oval from that one. But that is your frame that comes out of there. So you've got that there to look at. So really unique. And that, when you put it with your oval that comes out of there, will fit. It's a little bit bigger, so you just need a tiny bit of glue. You could use an adhesive sheet, but it will still leave sticky around the edge. So I found a few dots of glue will do the job, and let the glue get tacky before you flip it over. So that's that one. And then today, I'll show you some cards where I have used this at the end of the, when I finished making the card, where I did use the oval. And see what happens? I thought I had clean stamps and I accidentally popped that on there. I don't think they were clean. So they promptly got cleaned after that. So the other die set that I'm using today is the Everyday Arches. And as you can see, these arches layer upon each other. You could use it as a tag, you could use it as a label, or you can use it as a card and a main feature of thing. Hello, Jack, how are you? You on lunch, quick lunch break? So these, I think, they're a must in anyone's die cuts because, as I said, they label, they layer, you can do so much with them. And I love sets like this because they do get to be used over and over and over again. And even with this one, you can stamp it out to make arches different. And you can also cut. If you cut 2 the same, you cut one where the dots are, just around the dots, you will get a very fine border, a little bit finer than what this actually does. So there's a little hint for you. So that's what I'll be using today. Now, because the card had loads of pieces, what I've done is I've die cut everything prior and stamped and everything else because, you know, look at that. These are all the pieces that we're going to be using today. Lots and lots. Oops, things caught up. So today we're going to do a pop-up vase card. So that inside my card will be a pop-up vase. And we've got the most beautiful paper from the Impressions Abloom. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And this is just one sheet of it. So I'm going to glue that together. So this is my card, first of all, is 21 by 14.9, scored at 10.5. Then I've got 3 pieces of Secret Sea at 10 by 14.5. I've embossed 2 of them now. I don't know if you can see the embossing on this. It's absolutely beautiful. It's the damask embossing folder that comes with the gallery blooms. Beautiful design on this, and that's why I've chosen this. It just is stunning. So those 2 will go on the inside. I've then cut a piece of white, a piece of designer series paper at 9.7 by 14.2. So just a little bit smaller, and it's just going to give me the hint of the Secret Sea at the back. And that's all I want on there. I've then gone and done my arches. So I've cut the 2 different arches, one in Secret Sea, one in white, and I've embossed the white one to give it that nice effect. Because as I said, this particular embossing folder is beautiful. Then I've got my notes to make sure I get to the right. I have a strip here, 10 centimetres by 2.5, and I've scored it at 1 centimetre. This is our mechanism. Then we also need a small piece, 1.5 by 5, and this is going to be our stopper. And then for the inside of the card, I've got, I've forgotten this size, I didn't write it down. So 10 centimetres by 7, and then I've just gone a couple of millimetres smaller all the way around, and that's for our inside. And for our vase, I'm going to use the reverse piece of the paper, and what I've done is I've cut this at 12.5 by 6. I've then scored at 2 centimetres, so 2.5 at each end. I then rotated it in the trimmer and went in at 2 centimetres and cut down to the fold, to the joint. So I've done that each side, so you end up like that. So I just thought, rather than you watching me all this, I would do it in advance because there's a lot there. So what I'll do now is take these pieces and move them. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue my pieces on the front and the inside. Jacinta, if you're still on, what's the weather like where you are? And the same with you, Leanne. Did Melbourne get some frosts or not? So we're just going to pop that on and yell at me if I've gone out of the frame, because I tried to get the camera where you can see it. I'll come down a little bit just in case I go off. So that's going to be my front. Most things in this sunny but cold, you didn't get a frost. We got a little bit of a white frost, so it was really interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to put that, I'm going to pop that flat, and the reason being this card will be quite bulky when we're finished with it. So the bulk will be from the inside. Isn't this paper just beautiful? I just love it. And the use of the colours in here are just amazing. Really, really pretty. Okay, now embossed. So you've got a debossed and an embossed. I want the embossed side. So I'm going to glue them in. And then we'll lay that in, lining it up nice and square and nice and even. Fresh Freesia and Secret Sea, how nice do they look together? I think Secret Sea is more like the new black. I'm going to line this one up, making sure I've got it straight across the top and the bottom, because we want that nice and straight. and we allow that to go in. So there's part of the card already. Now I'm going to take our vase piece. And I'm going to glue these two, like you could cut them off, but I'm actually going to glue them down. So I'm going to pop a bit of glue just in here. Pop that down. So on one side I pop two of them down, so I've got a piece hanging up, and then on the other side I'm just going to turn this middle piece in. Okay, that's going to give it a nice secure piece. Then I'm going to take my secret seed mechanism piece, making sure that it fits within inside the piece. So it's got to be just a fraction smaller than the width so that it works. Hello Glenda, how are you today? What's the weather like where you are? I'm just going to put a bit of seal because I wanted to have a good hold there. We're working with the Impressions Abloom Bundle. Okay, there we go. We're just going to make sure that's nice and straight. Use your grid paper or your, make sure it's straight. There we go, I've got that nicely. Now, where I've got the fold, I'm going to make it go both ways. I'm going to pop some glue. This will be tricky because I only want it where the, get that off before it gets, get that. Do not want that little bit of glue there where it's going to probably pick up on a piece of card. There we go, got it. So I've got that nicely on that there. I'm going to lay this, close that over like so, work out, tuck those in for now, and then I'm going to work out my positioning of the vase that I'm going to be making. So I'm thinking about there's fine. So I've lined this up with the centre of the, oh, you have a lovely sunny day, Glenda. You're lucky. So you didn't get any frost today, which is lovely. I've lined that up, get that nice and straight. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to just make sure I've got it straight. I'm going to close this. I'm going to rub from the back. And that's our mechanism. Making sure, I'll open this back up, making sure it's nice and straight. So there's our piece. So now that it's in there, it's nice and solid, and I'll grab my bone folder, and just to make sure, I better not do it that way, I'm going to rub, hold that in place because we don't want it to move. Now I've got this little stopper. And this is only a small piece, but we're just going to put a bit of glue along the top and a bit of glue along the bottom. And I've got glue there. So I've only, oh, didn't put it properly on. You can tell I'm not used to using these things, but I just thought today I needed something that was going to help, that was going to be strong. Take the glue off. So as you can see, I've got glue here and glue there. And I might put a little bit of Tombow just as well, as just to make sure that this holds. Because this is our stopper. I'm going to take that, line this back up. I'm going to put that right up there that in place. Thanks, Jacinta, for watching. Have a good day at work. So as you can see, I have got that stuck there. So that'll fold over. So that'll be our mechanism for our card. So now we're going to open this up, and this is the tricky part. So I'm going to get some glue. Do it this way. And put plenty of glue onto this piece of the mechanism. Just make sure I've got it nice and clean. So I'm going to tuck them under. I'm going to have the card open, so your card will actually be, you want this nice and flat when the card is closed. So this is going to be a bit tricky for me to show you. So I've got the card, and I'll just hold that in there so you can sort of see where the card is. So I've got it nice and flat. I didn't think about how it would look for you guys when you saw it. So I've got it nice and flat. And one side's lifted, the other side didn't. Put them down. And this should move. Well, why are you not moving? Let's see what's going on. Oh, it might be that this is lifted. Yep, it's coming up nicely. I made 2 of these over the weekend and it didn't do it. Going live, it did. So now, because that little piece is already stuck down, I have to try and make sure I get it right. Okay. Please let the gods be with me. There. Close. And there we go. Yes. So there's our mechanism. So as you can see, it'll open the vase. So when the card is closed, it's flat. And when it's open, there's the vase. Now we're going to do some decorating. I'll put those pieces to the one side. And as you can see, I've done a lot of cutting, a lot of stamping, and I'll put them all here. So I've just cut little thin strips of the old olive for most of my stems because they're going to be hidden. I have these out. Got, I don't think that blue one was meant to be in there. It's a different blue. I've got Secret C. So the detail of the Secret C is what you see dark. I've stamped off and I've stamped around it, and that's created that one. I do not know why that blue's in there. And then for the centre, I've got Daffodil Delight and I've got Blackberry Bliss, because I thought the Blackberry Bliss would go nice with this colour. So I've got the Secret C, so there's 4 of those. I've then got 2, 3. Where's my 4th one? So many pieces. So I've got 4 of these, and this is done in Pool Party, the dark, and then stamped off, and again the Daffodil and the Blackberry Bliss. And it looks so different, the Blackberry Bliss here, to what it does there. It's just how it turned out. Then I've got the middle flower in Fresh Freesia. Oh, what have I got here? What have I got? Oh, I know what I've done. I've chosen 2 different blues, so you can help me with that. it's dawned on me. So I've got fresh freesia, full strength, light strength, and again the daffodil. So that's our middle flower. So we've got our 4 flowers there. And then I've just gone and die cut some of these. This one cuts 2 at the same time. So they can become a flower. So they can be hooked together, or I can mix and match them. I've got berry burst, and I have got pretty in pink. So they're all the colours that are set in the thing. Now what I want is, which one do you think out of the 2, couldn't work out why I had other colours, but now I know why. Which one do you think belongs, that's closer matching out of the large flower to my paper? So there's one done in Misty Moonlight and one done in Secret Sea. And I want you to tell me which one you think looks the one. I seem to think that I like the Secret Sea. I think that's why I've done the 2 lots, because I think I first did in the blue and then I've gone into the Secret Sea. And I think matching them up, looking at them here on the paper, the Secret Sea seems to blend in better with the colour there. It's a much darker colour than what this is stamped, and yet it doesn't say it has navy in it. So looking at it on the screen, I'm seeing very much that the Secret Sea one is more the flower. So we'll get rid of that one. Pop that out of the way. I'll use it, don't you worry. Right, so first of all, I want to get this little fine stem, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on this, because I'm going to take the little flower and I'm just going to put one on there and one on there. Let them stick. Yes, Glenda, I agree. Secret Sea is definitely the colour, I think. The other colour was just a bit washy. So I'm going to put behind both of these, oops, I'm going to put a dimensional. So it's going to hold this, because this is very, very fragile. Then I'm going to take a tiny bit of glue and I'm just going to pop down in here. Just enough to hold it down the bottom. So I'm going to take that and I want to lay that up the top, just like so. Card should still be able to close, which it does, and I've got those there. Then I'm going to take one of these and a little strip. So what I might do, well, to allow the glue to set, so I might do all these flowers. Now, if you want to see how they were stamped, just check out last week's video, because I did demonstrate it last week. But there was so much this week that I didn't want to do it again. And I didn't want to keep you any more than I have to. So we're going to put them on these. So they look like a lollipop. I'm only going to do 3 because I want one for the front. We might as well do the glue there. So yeah, just randomly hack. You'll see that some of them are a bit thicker than others, but just randomly slice off some strips of the green. And this, with this card, I'm using Old Olive. The two I made over the weekend, I used Garden Green. I'm just going to pop that like so. So I'll let them just sit and dry. And then I'm going, while I'm waiting for them to just be secure enough before I do it, I'm going to play with these others. So move all my bits and pieces out of the way. I've got these tiny little flowers and I want to use all of them. So I'm just going to, I could have done this beforehand and I probably should have, but I wanted you to see what I was doing. So I've got three there, and 1, 2, there should be another one, and it'll be hiding, and it better not have disappeared because the image cuts out 3 at a time. And got all my pink ones. I didn't pick them up with these, did I? No. If not, I'll just always cut another one. So what I want to do is I'm going to put a bit of glue inside this, just a dab, very small. Make sure they're all the right way when you do it. I nearly had them the wrong way. So how was everyone's weekend? I hope you all had a great weekend. Having a cold start and some cold mornings. A bit hard to get used to, but we're getting there. So I'm then going to take my pink ones. I'm going to use my tweezers. I just want to sit them over the top. Just like so. Actually, my take your pick tool will be much more advantageous. Why I didn't think of that, because at least it helps me to rotate it easier. There we go. How quick and easy was that? Why didn't I think of it before? So rotate this. Woo, that doesn't want to do what it's told. Okay, let's try again. Thank you, flower. One there. As I said, probably should have done this beforehand, but I didn't. And maybe then I would have discovered where the other flower is. But anyway, we'll work around it. It may still turn up. It may be on the floor. It didn't look like it was in the box, so it's just playing little tricks with me. Come on. There we go. So I've got 5 of the flowers. So we'll work out what when the other one turns up, which it should, because I cut it. And it did. See? I told you it was going to be there. Made fun of me. Oh, excuse me. Just put a bit of glue. And take the lid off so I can pick it up. And I'm just going to pop that. Put that on there so it can dry, because I want to sculpt that a little bit. So what I'm going to do here is I've cut 3 lots of each. So I'm thinking I might cut, because I don't know if I'm going to use all these flowers. So I'm thinking I might just put a glue dot and just have it like that. I don't need it over full. Okay. just put a glue dot. And we'll pop that in the centre there. We'll do that with the others as well. And then they're ready. And then I can decide whether I want to make it fuller. Because I didn't use these on my practice ones that I did over the weekend when I was working out my design for today. They were a very last minute addition to today's card. Oops, that's stuck to my fingernail. That's not very handy, is it? Put that on there. Who's worked out what their favourite colour out of the new in colours is? I know that from the day I saw them, Secret Sea and Cloud Cover are mine. But at the moment, I could have ordered an ink pad, but they were the wonky ones. And I decided I'm not. I'm going to get the ink spot and fill it. My dear friend Lucia, who hasn't popped on today, but Lucia did a very, very good example of showing how the old ink pad, how the faulty ink pad doesn't really give it the right colour. Your Cloud Cover, okay? Yeah. I'm Secret Sea and Cloud Cover. I like that combination. The minute I saw it on stage, it was... And I have to admit, I didn't realise till I was cutting this card that my Secret Sea went very quickly. Got to buy some more cardstock already. Okay, I'm going to pop a couple of these together of the same colour because this particular one cuts out a little bit more. So I'm just going to create another flower using the smaller bits. I'm going to have one. One will be like what I've got. I'll do that and that. Okay, let's get these. That's half the battle. And at least I know the glue will have dried on all the others. So I'll pop that away for now. Now I'm going to go and have a look where I want this one. So I know I'm going to put this one about there. So close my card just to make sure. You like strawberry slush, Glenda? Did you like it when it was out the first time, or is this the first time you've seen it? I think it has its place, but I haven't found it yet. When I saw it on stage, yes, that's what I'm going to do, Glenda, the ink spot and filling it with the Cloud Cover refill. As I said, Lucia, she did in her Thursday tips, she stamped the ink pad that she got earlier and then did the spot, and the spot was spot on in the colour, whereas the ink pad, it was more grey. So pop on and check Lucia Visitant and check what she did. So I'm going to put a bit of glue at the bottom because I'm not worried about down here. I've just got to make sure this is not going to land on that mechanism. And it will. Better cut a little bit off. So we don't want to hinder the mechanism. Oh, first time for you. Okay, so you didn't see it when it was out before. I remembered it when it came, when I saw that it was going to come back, but I went back through my colours, and for some reason I did not buy that back then, so I have it in my collection now. Okay, I'm going to take, so we're going to alternate a lot of the flowers. So this is where, this is open to interpretation. You do not have to do what I'm doing. So I'm going to place a little bit off that. I'm going to place these in, and I'm just going to play around with it. I'll just put a little bit of glue on the back of that. I'm just starting off with the 3 colours first. So I'll bring this. I'm going to pop those 3 colours. Close my card, making sure that nothing is popping out or around the side. So there I've got my 3 colours. I'm going to come in with another one of these, and this one's going to come down a little lower, but I want this one to come about there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a glue dot and pop on the back of this leaf, because I do want to put a little leaf under this one. Stop sticking to me. I'm just going to stick that under there like so. So this I'm going to glue like so. It's just sitting there. So of course you can see there was a lot of excess. Trim that away. And I'm going to pop just a bit of glue on the front. Pop that in place. Just press it to the top. Close my card so that it's, see I've got the leaf there. Then I'll come in with, oh, I forgot to stick one of these down. That was smart. So I'll sit that on there. Okay, I'm going to try and work out where I want this one. I think I'll have him out there. Trim a little bit. I'm going to put this one to the front. This is probably the longest it takes for the card to go, because it's not hard, it's just the placement. So I'm just having a look at this on, popping it where I'd like it and sticking it to my vase. There we go. Oops. No, you weren't supposed to do that. Come back here. Hold it in place. That's better. So I've got that in place. And as I said, I'm not worried about the fact that you can see the stems. I might just bring you in a little bit more because it looks like you're a bit too far away to see. How's that? Is that a bit better? So I don't want you to be too far away. Right. Now, I think I'll pop, I might pop one of these. Look at my card. Pop one down in there. Trim off the excess. Just going to pop a little bit of glue. And I want that just sitting in there like so. Get your finger underneath so that it's sticking where you want it to stick. Because you don't want too much glue. It's looking good. I've got another one of these. Pop that right in. About there. And I think this one I might pop to the, might pop that one on a dimensional. Thanks, Glenda, for letting me know. It's hard to tell sometimes, and Facebook doesn't like to play ball when I want it. There we go. It wasn't where I... There we go. Got the flowers. I've got another one of these to pop in. And I'm thinking I might bring that about there. So trim a little bit of this off. Has anyone made one of these pop-up vases before? So just pop that one just in there like so. Press that down to make sure it... And now I want to use these just to add a bit of filler to the... I'm just going to pop that, lay that where I would like it to sit. And just to make sure, close the card so I've got it sitting where I want it. Just want a bit of colour, give it a bit of fill. Oops, a little bit too much glue on that. Take that off. As I said before, this is the hardest part I found, was just getting the glue on everything. No, look, I saw it a long time ago, but I loved it, and I thought this particular set to me really allowed for this to be created. So I'm going to use some of my leaves now. I'm going to, because they're not going to all be seen, so I can hack a little bit into them. I'm just going to trim a little bit off. I'm going to pop a bit of glue on the back of that. So basically, once you've got your flowers in, I'm just going to take the leaves, and the leaves are going to act as a filler. A little bit of glue at the front here. And I will just sit that in behind there. And then I've done these little ones as well because, you know, we can pop them on here. Got a nice little leaf there I can just pop on there. Take another. As I said, they're very fiddly. They're fiddly in the sense that you're making sure your mechanism works, and you're also making sure that you've got your flowers in position. But apart from that, the rest of the card is quite simple. We'll just pop that in the back there. I'm going to close my card so that it sits in the right spot. A bit of glue sitting where I don't want it. Oh, I know where it's coming from. Leave that one back in a bit. And then I've got these little ones, so I'm going to use 3 of these. And hopefully I don't lose them. just thinking I might pop another one just a little bit in the back there. Sort of one that's sitting just there. So there's the card. So as you can see, the flowers are all popping up. I might put one more single flower, little leaf up here. And that's why I've done them in with glue, with dimensionals, so that you can pop in. So there's the inside. I'm going to put these, I want 3 of these little flowers just sitting in here. So I'm going to put one this side, one this side, and just one on there. Take your pick tool, where did you go? Tweezers will have to do the job because it disappeared on me. I'm just going to pop that in place. Now I see it. Right under my nose. Put that one over here. And then just one on there. Just hold that in place. And give that a bit of a press. Now I'm going to use, these are the Regal foiled adhesive back dots, and I think these, the Misty Moonlight in this, and even the Blackberry Bliss goes really nice. So I'm thinking I might use, just on the front, on the inside I should say, might just the centre of these flowers, pop a Blackberry Bliss one. And because this centre is already quite thick, having dimensionals on the inside, gems I mean, isn't going to matter. Okay, I like that. I'm happy with that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some Winker Stella, and I'm just going to flick some wink over the flowers. And if I thought early enough, I could have coloured them beforehand. But anyway, we've done that. So I've got a little bit of wink. You can just see it on there. So we'll leave it at that. So now I'll close that and work on the front before I go any further. So I've got this beautiful piece of white with the embossing. So I'm going to glue that flat. And the reason I'm doing it flat, as you can see, it's quite thick on the outside. So I'm going to pop that there. And glue that to the front of the card. Oops. And centre that in the middle of the card. And then I've got another one of these very fine branches, and I've got a leaf. And what I want to do is I'm going to pop that like so, but I want that to sit so that I can add some flowers. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue on the back here. And I'm going to take that just to where it forks off at the back. come back here. Likes to stick to my fingers. So I'm going to pop that there, and I'll put a little bit of glue just on the leaves, a little bit on the dots there. Flip that over and pop it like so. I'm just going to tuck that little bit in, and there it is. So now I'm going to get my big flowers, and these I'm going to, which I should have done before the others, but I didn't. But anyway, I think the others would go quite flat inside. So I've got a dimensional on the back of that. So I'm going to put that one over this side. And I'm going to take this fresh freesia and put, yeah, Glenda, the embossing folder is, I have to say, I know I saw it on stage and I thought, yep, I've got to get this one because it's old world, but yet so, I don't know, it really appealed to me. That's probably the word I can use. It's just a really, really nice embossing folder. So then we're going to take this other flower, give it a bit of texture. I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to sit that tucked in under there. I think I might make these a little bit glue those two together. Put a little bit, and then I'll bring these out. Give it some, and I'll put that on a mini dimensional for that one. Just pop a mini on the back, and I'll pop that one down there. And then I've got my three little flowers here. Again, I'm just going to pop a little dot of glue to hold them in place. Yes, it's a nice little flower, and I mean, yes, two-tone cardstock would look really nice in there as well. But that is something I don't have. But yes, the flower with the two different shades. Look at that. And then I'm going to just take another leaf, and I might have that leaf just sit under there. Just balance the leaves a little bit. When it comes to the decorating of your flower, your set, you can do what you wish. So I'm going to use these gems. They're still available. They're on the last chance list. So, you know, might as well use them up while they're available. I'm going to pop them on the flowers. I love that little bit of gold fleck through it. Just pop that on there. And now I've already pre-embossed in white the word thanks. And I've got this beautiful ribbon, iridescent nylon ribbon. So I'm going to make just like a little bit of I said, I don't want it too big. But that's just going to sit in behind like so. Grab that. Just get some tape. Lay that about. Just put a little bit of tape over it. And that's going to fit nicely there. So I'll take the backing off. I mean, I could leave it, but I want to put dimensionals on. And the dimensionals do not like the backing. I'm just going to pull that back a bit from there. Like that. There we go. So I've got some mini dimensionals, which I had a minute ago. If you have a go at this card blender, I'd love to see what you do with it and what flowers you use, because it's a card that you can use any floral set, so whether it be the daisies or some pretty florals that are available in this so anything with flowers that you can stamp, that you can die cut, would work. So there's my front, and I'm going to use a bit of wink, but this time, because I've got the flowers out, I'm just going to pop a little bit on the petals. How am I doing for time? Not too bad. I didn't want to go over the hour. I was determined to try and keep it within the hour, because everybody's got other things to do. And I'll just put a little bit on this to give it a bit of a look. And we'll just give it a little bit of a splatter as well over the front of the card. Now we're going to do the inside. So what I've done for the inside is I've cut in the Misty Moon, in the Secret Sea, I've cut a 10 centimetre by 7, and then I've just got a fraction smaller for the inside. So I'll glue this down. And I'm just going to pop that in the middle. And I think I will put, so I've got thanks. I think I'm going to get I appreciate you. Take that, put that on a block. And where's the block on it? And I'm going to use Secret Sea. Stamp that up. Pop that in the middle. Oh, that wasn't very good. Well, we'll go plan B. Oh, I did it again. If I can line it up. No. You know what? I'll fix that up in a minute. But I'll glue this down because I'm going to show you that it can be done. And we'll pop that over the top like so. And then, because I've got a couple of flowers left, could sit that there, you know. That will cover mine. What do you reckon? Great way to cover it up. Thanks, Leanne. Thanks, Glenda. This is how I'm going to cover a blooper. Look at this. Bingo. Sit that down, make it look like I've just gone a little bit too far, but because that didn't stamp at the top, you can still read, I appreciate you. So there we go. There's our lovely pop-up vase card. And this paper in the Impressions Abloom, it just really lends so much to everything. You could do it with the die, you could cut the things out, easy doing it. So this is what I did yesterday as well. We've got one with the sunflower background, different colours, and then got the card inside there. And then another piece of the paper I've done here, again, different colours, and I just put the thing there, and I've got that there. So 3 different cards, 3 different looks, just using the one stamp set. So this bundle is a very versatile bundle, and as I said, you can certainly play around and have I got them down far enough? I'll come back out a bit if I can. Wrong way. There we go. I wish Facebook would stop changing settings. There we go, so you can see them. Did I get it far enough? Yep, it's caught up with me. Yep. So there they are, 3 total different looks. These ones where I used the little fine border of the ovals that came in the set. Here I've used the arches. So they're all very, very different. Oh, the inside's K, yep. That's this one. Then that one, which is that. And then this one, which is what we did before. So they were all different. It just depended on what I did. The embossing folders were different. This one I used one of the basic 3D embossing folders, which had a floral. This one I used the Starburst one with the one of the basics at the front. And then this one I used the damask inside. So there's the cards. I hope you like them. And if you do one, pop it on my page. Let me have a look what you do. I'm sure you guys can come up with something really fantastic compared to what I can do. So different gems, different everything. But anyway, oh, were they out of view? Sorry, Kay. Thank you, Rhonda. Hello, how are you? I'm glad you like them. So yeah, as I said, they're all different. I've used twine here, gold thread there, and the ribbon there. So yeah, very, very different, but a lot of fun to make. The trick is getting all your pieces together prior to putting it together, because if you're trying to do it at the same time, which is what I did when I first did it, I was stamping, cutting, sticking, stamping, cutting, sticking, and it just didn't quite work. But this works really well. So I'm glad you've liked it. And yeah, have a go. They are fun. So anyway, I shall see you all next week at 1:30 on Monday. So keep that in mind. We'll have a happy Monday, and I shall catch you next week. Have a great week, everybody. Bye for now.